Hi everyone, I'm back this week, and today I'd like to talk about artists who use text in their work, who use letters and numbers and things from books or songs or any kind of text. So I brought a slideshow to show you what I mean. This is an American artist, Barbara Kruger, and she uses text and found images to make you think about things or to tell you something. What do you think this one is? It's called Roy Toy, and it says "Make My Day." Makes me wonder, what is that cat thinking, and what is in its mouth? Sometimes people make things to make you think about something happening in the world, and I wonder what she wants us to think about this. Does that cat look happy? Does it maybe look hungry? Sometimes animals aren't treated very nice, and maybe that's what she's thinking about. Here's another one she did. A lot of these look like magazine ads because she was a magazine designer before she started making these. So you can see that influence. This says it's a small world, but not if you have to clean it. So what do you think she's saying? That's an old picture of a woman. And women, historically, were usually the people who are cleaning the houses and cleaning things, right? Maybe it's a little different now. It depends where you are and who you are. But she's asking you to think about that. This is a British artist, Gillian Waring, and she made this series of photographs. And she walked up to people and she said, I want you to write on this piece of paper what you're thinking. And then you hold it, and I'm going to take your picture. So this is a policeman in Britain, and he's saying, help. Why do you think that? Do you think he needs help? Or maybe he wants to give you some help? I don't know. I like this idea though. She did 50 of these with all different people saying different things. This is an American artist, Mark Bradford. He's the one on the right here. And he makes these giant paintings out of posters and ads he finds taped to fences and on telephone poles around Los Angeles, South Los Angeles. So he collects them all. This one says traffic school and DNA testing and something about housing. And he puts them all together and he puts things on them, and then he sands them and takes things off, and he makes a painting out of them. And sometimes you can read them, and sometimes you can't read them anymore, but they become a painting. See, you can see here he's sanding it down, changing how it looks. But the collection of signs from a certain place tells you something about that place. If he collected signs from Alameda, what would they say? Would they be different from the signs from Los Angeles or from New York? I think each neighborhood and each place has their different signs that you would see. And this is Glenn Ligon. He's another American artist. And he does a lot of paintings with words in them. A lot of times the words are from other people's poems or books or things that they said, but they're famous words. This I Am Somebody is from a famous poem that was used in the civil rights movement. So when they were talking about rights for Black people in the United States, this poem was used a lot in speeches and things. So he's using those words and he's putting them in a painting, and he's using them so many times that you can barely read them at the bottom, but at the top you can. So what do you think he's trying to say? A lot of his paintings are about how it is to be Black in America. But he says that you don't need to know what these say either. See, these paintings, I can't read these. I don't know what they say, but they're still really interesting paintings. The pattern that the words make and the colors is interesting to me. But if you know what they say, that adds something else, right? It's like if you look at a picture book and there's just pictures, and then you look at the same book and they added words and someone tells you a story, it's a little bit different then. but they're both good. This is an American artist, Stephen Powers, and he likes to make these paintings with words and sometimes pictures that just sort of make you think, or this one makes me laugh. Says I'm awake, yawn, 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 lots of yawns, asleep, awake, and just every day it's kind of like that, I think, but it's kind of makes me laugh a little bit. And during the pandemic, when the pandemic first started, a little over a year ago, he saw all the boarded up stores in New York City where he lives, and they were just painted black. They were plain black wood. And he said, that's a good place to paint stuff. So he made these pictures about life during the pandemic. And he added a lot of words. The words tell us more about the picture. So this is Vital Idol, and it's sort of like a tidal wave, too. He's under the water on his couch. Everybody's on their couch. And here's the calendar in the bottom. It says the month of February 2020. So it's like the month of February that just went on forever. And it says remote learning. We all know about that, right? And it's got a little remote there. And try to maintain perspective. Try. So try to think, this too will end. So what would you think if you were walking down the street and you saw this? Might make you feel comforted or understood, or you might just like looking at it. So we've seen several artists that use text in different ways to make you think about important things, or to make you laugh, or to make you feel understood, or tell you an idea they had, or sometimes just to make an interesting picture where you can't even read the words, but they're still there and they still mean something. So today I'd like you to take text, so letters and things, and make something. You could do any which way. You could do something like Barbara Kruger, where she cuts out things from magazines and uses photographs and make it say something like that. Or you could do a drawing of a word that's interesting or important to you. Or you could do something around a book that you like, or a song that you like, the words in there, and you could make a picture using those or about them. I decided, I was thinking about rain, because it's not raining at all. It's very hot out today. So I did something about rain here. And you can see in it, it's just layers and layers of words. There's lots of words in here: rain, dry, drop, wet, drip, but then there's drought, and then there's some other words in red, and there red gets your attention, right? Like Barbara Kruger using the color red made us really pay attention to what she was saying. And the red words in here say fire and wind and red flag warning. That's something we're familiar with here in California when it gets too hot in the summer and it's fire season. We have to worry about that, especially if there's not enough rain. So that's what this one is about. And I can't wait to see how you use text to make something about you and what you think is important or you'd like to share with us. Okay, see you next time.